Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Graves podcast. I'm your host, as always, Casey Graves. Pardon me, I lost my voice, but I gained a friend. Today we have a really good guest. I find this guy fascinating. He's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. He was in the Army for 8 years. He's a father of 4. Just all well-rounded guy. No bad things about him.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, at least. Maybe after this podcast.
We will discover.
But yeah, please welcome Steve Craemer, everybody.
Oh, thanks.
Steve Craemer. We have a...
Yeah, the applause.
That's the
There you go.
broadcast.
There you go.
All right, don't get too excited. Yeah, how you been, man? So what's good?
Good, man. Just living life. Family and everything's occupying time.
Yeah.
It's everybody's battle. You know, trying to find time with what you need to do, what you want to do. I fortunately have an awesome wife, and she gives me a lot of time to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think she sees that I give the right amount of time to my family, to her, to, honeydews, stuff around the house. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, I'm living the dream, man.
Shark calls you Steven, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, well, you're like the only guy that I know that... because everyone does the opposite transition. You know, they used to be Mike, and they're like, hey, man, I'm 40 now. It's Michael. You know, that people, you're going reverse, which I fuck with.
No, I've always been Steve. I will always introduce myself as Steve.
Yeah. Well, Steven, for me, because I only know you from jiu-jitsu. So I'm like, okay, that's whatever sensei calls you, it has to be right.
I'll just fall in line.
Yeah. For the viewers who don't know at home, me and Steven were talking, and it was like I guess his wife said, yeah, if we got to do something new every 7 years. And that's something in her philosophy cabinet she sticks by. And I find that fascinating. I think people tend to get stagnant, and they're so, oh, where'd the time go? Life hits you fast. And you're like, hey, cool. I have a 7-year annual, a 7-year checkup.
7-year itch.
And now
scratch it.
Yeah, and now I'm about to be at Steve's goat farm pretty soon.
Come by, check him out. That's actually one of the things I really enjoyed about the Army. So I was in for 8 years, and usually every 2 years you go to a new duty station. So you're doing the same exact job. So your technical skill remains, but you go do it with a whole new group of people, at a whole new company or a whole new unit in a different place, which breaks up the monotony. You don't get it. You don't really. I think at 2 years or so, you don't have enough time to really find yourself into a rut. Like you're finally just kind of getting comfortable, and you're like, let's go somewhere else.
Is that how the Army works? Like they station you based off that philosophy?
I don't know if that's intentional, but that's the way they do it. Yeah.
But it does work for the benefit.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll get into a specific unit, specific duty or something where you stay there for, 5-6 years. You get just kind of stuck in a system. But on average, you get a new duty station every couple of years.
How is it being in the Army and raising a family? Because like I was going to join the Army like right after college, and some guy kind of really talked me off a cliff in the sense of saying like, look, maybe I got a bad guy advice. There's one in every crowd, right?
Yeah.
But it's like he was like, hey man, you want to be in the Army? How much do you like moving place to place? And I go, what do you mean? And I think you can see where I'm going, right?
You don't have time to set down roots.
He's like, sometimes me and my wife are staying in hotels and the government's paying for it, and this, that, and the other. But he's like, she's had it. I mean, he's been through like 3 wives, and they just couldn't keep up with the upkeep. Like he was just like, and I don't blame him. I'm in love with it, and I'm sorry, but I'm fighting for my country and this, that, and the third. But he's like, if you want a healthy, sustainable family and relationship, this might not be the route for you. You kind of are like a living proof that it is, in my opinion. What's your opinion on what I just said?
That's kind of a complicated thing. I think we hit on it earlier about the difference between men and women. A man wants to go see stuff, do things, conquer things, get into stuff, and man, that's a perfect opportunity. You get to see all these different cool things, do things you certainly wouldn't have done if you stayed at home, working at a bar as a civilian or whatever. You go see the world, you learn a lot about yourself, you do all these fun and crazy things. But if you're married, you're dragging your wife through all that, around all that. And I believe, again, this is the world according to me, that a woman wants to set up stability. She wants to have her support group, like her group of friends that she can chat with and be, connected to. And when you force her every 2 years, every however long, to drop that and come on, babe, let's go. She's like, I just finally found my groove here. And now you're going to destroy that. So for her, it's a complete pain in the ass. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, a woman wants her husband around, or, wife wants her husband around, obviously. And then he's on deployment. He's out of country. He's here, there, and he has no choice. And when he gets to do it, it's totally needs of the Army and the unit and whatever. So it's like, hey, we're going camping for a week. Can't we do that next week? It's the prom or whatever. Too bad. Yeah. Let's just deal with it. And I think that can be stressful for a couple, particularly for a family.
Yeah. So a lot of the sporadic planning, or like drop everything at once and go do this now, and all that's I could see that jerking the mental emotions of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it can be difficult. Like my wife, love her. She is a planner. She loves, like, 3/4 of the fun of a vacation is getting on the internet, seeing all the pictures and getting all hyped and excited about it. She loves picking out the hotels, and I just want to go. Like, let's just get in the car and go where we're going to go. So for her, at least, planning something out is part of it. If I was just to come home like one random Thursday afternoon, baby, pack your bag, we're leaving in an hour, we're going to Belize or wherever, she'd be like, it'd be like panic. She'd wait, we haven't had time to think about this and to fester in it and to enjoy the build up and the anticipation and stuff. And it's like, to me, the fun of it is actually going there and doing it and experiencing it. All the build up and the thinking about it and figuring out all the plans and stuff. Yeah, it's just not my.
I would think that, like, I don't know. I would think eventually, if you're in that relationship, because I have a friend who his wife is she's in the Marines. Mm. I think that's badass. Like he's a school teacher.
He's almost like role reversal.
Yeah, he's a school teacher, and I'm testing the mic. He's a school teacher, and she's always on deployment, and it's like either sex involved, you're going to be like, all right, well, this is the way now. This is just what it is. Mm. So to me, I'm feeling like, that kind of fucking magnifies how strong a relationship can be, because that's an ultimate test. No one in this fucking world that I know is down to do shit like in the world I live in. A lot of these people, they'll complain because they got less ice in their coffee, So it's like that's pretty awesome to me. Mm. I don't know. It's like I'm attracted to hearing like what a hardship can do to build something stronger.
Yeah, every married couple goes through difficulties, hard times, good times, bad times. And I think one of the things that I've gathered in watching other relationships and hearing about is that expectations play a big part in disappointment. So if you go into a marriage expecting that, hey, we're going to be like connected at the hip all the time, and your partner is like, no, I still want to go be able to hang out with my friends and this and the other thing, it's going to be a huge disappointment for you, huge adjustment. You're going to be unsatisfied in your marriage. And I think the married couples that have success figure out how to negotiate their marriage, like how to set their expectations correctly.
Yeah.
I'm a very active, high energy. I go do a lot of stuff, and my wife is not. She's so it's said on her dating profile, she's interesting. No, she's into resting. Like, she loves napping all afternoon. Like, that's her thing. I'd go nuts napping all afternoon. So initially it created some friction for us, but now we figured out, like, we go for an Airbnb. I'm going to bring my mountain bike. Middle of the afternoon, she goes down for a nap. Great, she's happy. I go expel some energy on a mountain bike, and we come back together, and now our needs have been met. And I think that's important, is to figure out and simply just appreciate your partner.
Yeah.
If this is who they are, you can't try and force them to be somebody else. You just know them and love them for who they are and accept that. And how many men have you heard about? Wife's always telling me to do it. Wife's always trying to change me. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make the man happy.
I kind of no. Do you go golfing? Oh no. You ever golf?
God, that's boring.
No. Well, see, look. I thought that too, and then I have friends who that's all I can see them for. Like the wife's got them in the clutches of like, okay, honey, this is golf time. Block it off on the calendar. This is what we're not. This is me time with the fellas or decompressing. And that same conversation you just said, where it's like, oh, wife won't let me do this. Wife's trying to do this. Then it's like, no, I can't do this now because of my wife. I'm like, it gets more and more layers of like, holy shit, dude, the whip and the collar you're wearing, it's off the chart. So like somewhere along the way, a lot of people, one of my buddies is like, he's like, hey, Casey, you getting... I'm thinking of how I'm going to edit this in my head. He goes, hey, Casey, you, how's the ladies in your life? I'm like, good. And he's like, getting blowjobs and stuff. We're both like in our 30s. I'm like, yeah. He's like, must be nice. Just, lining up his range in the fairway. He goes, must be nice. And then on his backswing, he's like, yep, I got to schedule my blowjobs on the calendar now. It's fucking sweet. Shank that. Let me hit again. I'm gonna hit again. I'm gonna drop. That it sounds terrible, but at the same time, like I said, like it's how you navigate it.
Yeah.
And there's two people driving the ship of the relation. But I wanted to traject on saying what do you. We talked about, dude, because it's living in my psyche right now. You gotta tell, for the viewers at home, the muzzle awareness with the Nerf gun story. You gotta tell them.
Let's see.
The Nerf gun story is still in my head.
Yeah, my kids and I would play Nerf guns. Have these rival balls.
Yeah,
and they're these little rubber balls, and like when you get shot with one, it actually kind of hurts. Like you think twice. Somebody points one at your face, and you think twice. Like
you don't.
They're soft. They don't really hurt you, but it stings a little bit.
You're worried about your eyes. And,
yeah. We always wear eye protection because it'll. Yeah. Anyway, so it's a gun, and for my kids to grow up, I'm a gun advocate. I'm all about
Army dad.
Guns. Yeah. Muzzle awareness is a huge topic. So, like we'd be there playing, in between rounds or muzzles going all over the place. And, I'd have to give them a solid correction about muzzle awareness.
Yeah,
I'm like, Dad, it's just a rubber ball. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Get it right, kid.
Get it right. That is just so funny, dude. Army Dad could be a sitcom on NBC. Like right after Modern Family.
So carry forward, I take them to the range. I can try, we went to the shoot on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's like an open bay, kind of 2-gun practice kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought my 16-year-old son, Toby. He did phenomenal. Like he was not flagging anybody, exceptionally muzzle aware. And the only way you train that is through repetition. He grew up with muzzle awareness. And that's me kind of thinking ahead. If I'm going to ever trust this kid with a firearm in his hand.
What a great place to start.
Yeah.
Nerf, I'd rather catch a Nerf bullet than a real one. I mean, that's amazing.
That's a life changer.
What was your position or your ranking?
Well, I was a crew chief on Blackhawks, so I flew around in helicopters.
Okay.
And I could say as far as an Army career or an Army job, I had a really white collar job. I wasn't in the mud with the bullshit, carrying things, suffering, sucking ass all the time. I flew around in a helicopter. I had, bags of clean laundry with me, and we'd stop wherever the hell we want. Mm-hmm. Let's just say we call it going to the field. We're going to go camping for 2 weeks. So we take all of our tents and the helicopters and trucks and all that shit. We go out in some area, and everybody's stuck out there. You're eating MREs, you're eating chow from the chow hall, and it's just kind of shitty. It just is what it is. Mm-hmm. But as air crew, we're like, we're going to go on a flight and do some training, and we come back with a couple pizza boxes stuck in the back of the helicopter.
I fuck with that.
So yeah, so everybody's like, fucking air crew, living the life and blah blah blah, whatever. So we had a good time.
Yeah, well, really good time. Didn't those fucking people complaining sign up for what they're doing?
Yeah.
So who's it wrong? Give me 20 burpees right now. It's like, what are you talking about? You chose it.
Yeah, it's your bed. You made it.
Yeah, so absolutely. That's funny as hell, man. So that was your beginning, middle, and end in your Army career? Was just helicopters?
Yeah. I was a Blackhawk. Well, I started out as a mechanic. They send you to school, you go to basic training, you learn how to shoot, move, communicate like a basic soldier. Because the expectation is that if your helicopter crashes or whatever forklift you're driving or whatever it is your job in the military stops, you're expected to be a soldier and be able to be competent on a battlefield. Not that I ever had to do that.
No, but just in case.
That's the theory. So everybody, you get a basic training, you learn how to recognize.
I've seen Blackhawk down.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry to bring you back to your roots, but I've seen a couple Army movies.
That's the way it works. Yeah. So, basic training is a trip. If you go into it with the wrong mindset, it sucks. The biggest thing you've ever sucked before. But if you understand that it's indoctrination, it's training, they're shaping you to be a part of the military, it's actually kind of entertaining. It's kind of fun. You do a lot of running, you do a lot of push-ups, you do a lot of weird shit, but they teach you a lot. I think as far as me personally, like you're a kid, you get kicked around at the house, nobody really gives you any serious respect.
Yeah.
And then finally, even through high school, you're just a kid. People treat you like a kid or whatever. Yeah. And then you join the Army, and finally, these people are investing a lot of money in you. They fly you around, full paid tickets. They're paying you, giving you all this training, and you finally realize, wow, I am worth training. I have value. And at least for me, that was when I kind of started to appreciate my own value. And, there were a lot of times where they'd send me to, all the way across the country and put me up in a hotel to do some, new training course or qualification or whatever. And you're like, I can dig this. This is pretty cool. The Army values me. They treat me like an adult, like a full-grown man. They treat you like a man. And so I think for a young man, that's valuable. Young guys don't realize their value, and you get put in an organization like that invests a lot of time and effort in you, and you start to realize your value. And then now you're trained, you're capable, you can do stuff. You're like, damn, I got some stuff going on here.
It sounds all positive. I think I found. I'm trying to get sponsored by the fucking GoArmy.com right now, dude. Is there any like, because there's ups and downs. Is there any regrets you had in the Army, or is there any like woulda, coulda, shoulda? Is like, oh man, if I hadn't, nothing, huh?
Well,
that you can talk about.
I tried going to college. Okay. And I was enrolled at Embry-Riddle for engineering, and I kind of have an engineering mindset. I liked math, but it just wasn't me. Like sitting in a cubicle and doing that sort of thing just wasn't me. And after 2.5 years, I was like, I tapped. I've had enough of this. I went home back to New Jersey. I was working some dead-end job as an electrician somewhere, and I had a long-term girlfriend. And within like the course of 2 weeks, I lost my job. I crashed my car, and my girlfriend left me. So I was like all-time low in my life. Like the world is crumbling around me, and kind of on a whim, I just said, "Fuck it, I'll join the Army." Like it couldn't get any worse.
Yeah, you were at your lowest low.
Yeah, and quite honestly, that was the best decision, like actual conscious decision I've ever made in my life, and it has affected my life in such a positive way that absolutely, I wouldn't, given the same circumstance or even a better circumstance, I still would have chosen to join the Army or join the military.
It was always coming, but it was just that in that moment, that was the final straw.
Yeah.
So it was kind of always on your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've actually talked to a few kids of parent friends into the military, and they're like, hey, go talk to Mr. Steve about what the military was about. And after an hour conversation, they'll go home like, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Wow.
I want to go join the military. And, like from someone who's never been around the military, it's all just, oh, you could die. Like, it's not worth it. You could die. Yeah. Well, but think about the positives. You're going to go learn a trade. You're going to go experience the world. You're going to become a man or, you know, a woman if that's your thing.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of positives. Everything has a cost. The risk is the cost. Yeah, statistically, whatever, there is risk, of course. You know, you could be injured, you could be crippled, you could be KIA. But I believe that the benefits are worth that risk.
What's KIA?
Killed in action. I mean, dead.
Okay. See, so like that, of course. I mean, all the factors there. I'm glad you're kind of like a mentor to these kids. Or, hey, you know, neighborhoods. Steve Craemer's in the Army, and go talk to him. See, like my dad, he would have as a kid, I think you get raised in a good household or whatever, and your friends or your family friends have other friends, and it all gets trickled into like, all right, is this kid gonna be a problem, or is this kid gonna go to college, or is he gonna be a fucking mechanic? You know, like I went to a boot camp and they had MREs. I got so fat off, dude, I was eating other people's MREs. They were just giving them to me. I was like, this is great. I look at the saturated fat. It's like 20. I'm like, my heart's going to explode. I'm in middle school. You know, it's like, I would, before all that or during all that, my dad would make me talk to these like friends of his who have, like I mentioned that story earlier, like a brother in the Army or something. And they're just jarheads. I mean, they're kind of just like on the wild side of like the crazy shit. And I don't know what their position or ranking was, but it was like that shit steered me way fucking further opposite from trying to serve for my country.
Yeah.
Because they were just outlandish. They were just like nutty. You could just tell, you know, when they're talking to you and they're like, how do you feel about jumping on a live grenade for your fellow man? And I'm like,
Hell yeah,
I don't even know how to finger a woman. I'm like going through puberty. Like I don't want to kill myself, you know? And but like people like you, it would be like, you know, if we went in the time machine, it's like someone like you would for sure influence me to be seeing all the positives in doing that.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Like my argument to the parent is the kid you get done with high school, notice what they want to do. Like, where do I want to go in life? I don't know. And, you know, it's easy to fall into that working at a local bar, going, you know, just doing dumb stuff, drinking and driving, smoking pot with your friends, hanging out as a local. And there is inherent risk in that. Just fucking up your life, having a kid too soon if that's not what you want, getting involved in drugs and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, DUI, car wreck, whatever. I mean, there's inherent risk in everything. And there you're not going anywhere. You're not learning anything. You're not doing anything. You're not moving on with your life. You're just stuck in this rut. At least that's my perspective.
Yeah.
Where, you know, you put your hand up and say, yeah, I'll do it. I'll serve my country. They'll train you. You'll go see what the world is about. You know, there are a lot of kids that really would benefit from seeing the rest of the world. Yeah. And therefore appreciating what it is we have as Americans, the freedoms that we have, the choices that we have. You know, so I was in Korea twice for a year, and like in Korea, you go to the food store and there is bread. You either buy bread or you don't buy bread. There's rice. You either buy the rice or you don't. There's not like there's 500 types of rice and bread.
Yeah, everything just said what it was.
Yeah, these are just essential things. This is what you buy.
Rice, meat,
yeah,
cheese,
but so like a whole grocery store is the size of this room,
right?
And you get used to that. You just go pick up, you know, whatever you want, and then you come back to my first time. After that, back to the States, you go to the grocery store, you're just like, oh my God, the choices that we have as Americans, this capitalist thing that we have, it's a good thing because there's choices, but it's just overwhelming. It's almost ridiculous.
Yeah.
How spoiled you are. You know, like you hit it on earlier. You got a guy that's complaining that his coffee or his latte is like half a degree not warm enough.
Yeah, or they forgot the sugar.
Yeah, really, dude, come on, drive on with your life. This is not a show-stopping event. Move on with it.
Yeah.
So, like as an example, my wife, love her to death, but she is comfortable between like 72.5 and 74 degrees. Anything outside of that, it's way too hot or it's way too cold.
Oh my gosh.
And all right, whatever, cool, good for you. I'm not judging you for it, but that's just the facts of it. Like
Yeah.
I'm good down to -20. I'll just put the right clothes on and I'm good out to 130 positive.
Yeah.
You just dress accordingly and you adapt. You get used to it.
I only say that I only reacted the way I did because like I know people like that, and if it's parallel to the same, where there's like if that's how you are in the house, if the temperature ain't going your way outside and God's controlling the weather, how's your attitude then? You know, like
your whole world falls apart. You start crying.
Yeah.
Oh God, here we are. You know.
Yeah. Do you only have you have 4 boys?
No, I have 3 boys and a daughter.
And a daughter. How old's your daughter?
10.
10.
Yeah.
And then how old's your son? 16 and.
I have a 4-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 17-year-old boys.
You couldn't pull out of your own driveway. Oh my gosh. Good for you, man.
Come on, it's a good joke. I couldn't pull out of a parking spot.
Come on, yeah.
So I'll admit that none of them were accidents. They were intentional. Let's get this done and do it on purpose. Yeah. Like my oldest boy, my mom, his mom and I intended to get pregnant on our wedding night. Like she was tracking her cycle and like, yeah, let's pull the goalie and get it done.
There you go.
Unfortunately, it took the next month to get it done. And then the second one was like, all right, we don't want him to grow up as an only child, so let's have
Plan
him.
it out.
Let's get him some company.
You are the Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, I guess you could.
You're good. I'm just fascinated by you, bro. Like I met Steve for the viewers at home at Jiu-Jitsu, and he's the type of guy you want to go to a Jiu-Jitsu gym where you meet a guy like Steve, the guy that's gonna show you your mistake when you're light rolling or a little bit more intense or going over a module or something like that, and then you spend that extra we spent like 15, 20 minutes on why I got something wrong or how we could go about this. And I haven't looked back since. It's like so cool to have, a good mentor. I mean, I couldn't imagine how great of a father you are to these kids. I mean, we
could ask them.
Yeah. All right. We could. Yeah.
Phone in a friend now.
On
That's
camera.
ridiculous.
Great. Off camera. I'm never having muzzle awareness. The Nerf gun muzzle awareness, like I want to write that into a bit. It's just like the way you tell it when we were shooting the other day was like, it's just so goddamn funny. Like Army dad, of course, live Nerf, like treating your whole house in that moment like it's a live action, like going in operation in the Army, but they're Nerf guns. Like that's so funny to me.
Yeah.
That's so, because it's just like empty and mag. It's just like, and it's just like you'd shoot like your 10-year-old kid.
you'd be amazed at what you can teach a young kid.
Yeah.
Like my second son was literally riding a 2-wheeler on a bicycle with no training wheels at 2.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people look at their kids and say, oh, they're dumb. They're as smart as you are. They're just small. Yeah. They're exceptionally intelligent and they learn stuff so quickly. Everybody underestimates.
Go ahead. What?
Just through inexperience, they don't understand stuff, but doesn't mean they're stupid. You just need to oh wait, you didn't understand. You don't know what that is. Let me take a minute to explain that to you. And then you see like the light bulb lights up to like, wow, Dad, that makes sense now.
That's so fucking funny because a lot of parents that you talk to, they have that same rhetoric. They're like, kids are dumb, Like, and I'm not getting into politics, but like even like I watched like Kamala Harris say something about how like stupid 18-year-old kids are or something, and the whole crowd was like, yes, they are. It's like, and I'm not because it's politics, but I'm saying like that was a live reaction to like I couldn't only imagine what other people say, but it's that give them the time of day, just show them a little something, and they're not as they might be stupid because the apple don't fall far from the tree. Some people forget that.
I had this thought the other day that all right, so my wife and I, when we chose to have our 4-year-old Jake, for some reason there was the day that she was going to be at her site ready to go, and that night before I just randomly went out with a friend of mine, and it wasn't intended to be a crazy night out, but it turned into a crazy night out, and I showed up like late, drunk, and so she was really pissed at me because she's like, she put so much thought into everything. She's like, I don't want your like drunken sperm with this kid, and I was like, never thought of it that way.
Oh, like you guys might have had a little.
Like the kid's gonna be deformed
She
because
passed the goalie and you were hammered.
Yeah.
And she's like, the kid was gonna be deformed. What?
Yeah. So she thinks like, you know, an alcoholic night, I go out and get crazy bombed, and the sperm is gonna be deformed
because your cum is intoxicated.
Yeah. So along that thought, I was thinking, awesome. Maybe that's the reason why there's so many dumb people around.
That is so wow, dude.
Your parents were hammered when they had you.
Yeah, this guy came from drunken sperm.
I don't know. Maybe it's the truth. Maybe it's completely weird, but maybe it's the truth.
I'm sorry. His dad came from drunken sperm. His mom came from old sperm. Like it was a bad mix.
It just, yeah, you know, like a photocopy of a photocopy.
Listen, man. There's no wrong answers in that workshop. That is you might be onto something.
I don't know.
Because some people, this is different. But like when people drink when they're pregnant, it's I guess it's like you could get a high risk of fetal alcohol syndrome, right? Where have you ever seen someone who was a fetal alcohol? No, I'm serious. This is
maybe not literally, but I've suspected a lot of people. Well,
okay, this is going to sound very crazy, but I know someone who I think it was a sister's friend. It was like my sister's like we're at a party or something, and she's like, she has fetal alcohol syndrome, and I don't know what that is. I'm like, what is that? Like she was born drunk? What does that mean? And she's like, her mom drank when she was pregnant, and there's like some sort of defect. It all results may vary, but like we can have like the one with the cold brew. The particular scenario was that once this girl drinks, my sister's friend, once she drinks, her face looks like she has Down syndrome.
Is that the symptom of
dead serious
FAS? We call it.
It could be one FAS fast syndrome. It could be one of those, but like there's others. Like you could be born with like, like a chicken wing or some shit like
Siamese twin.
Siamese twin. But this is the specific one here. I was talking to her, dead sober, and the hours of the night played in how it would, and her face looks like it was in the dryer too long after like a couple of shots of tequila. And I'm like, no fucking way. Like her face, I swear to God, like she was like an X-Men. Like she was like something, she just completely, like, I know, I'm like, am I drinking too much? Because my sister's like, stop staring at her. I didn't know that could happen.
You're just fascinated. You're not being weird. You're just like, wow,
like, yeah, like her face just became more like droopy, like more mouth breathy. And I was like, wow, dude, this
more
is...
More window lickish.
Yeah. So I might have sober sex when I plan for kids, too. That's like oh, boy,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, talking about kids, my only advice that I will give a new parent or expecting parents...
Okay.
There's all kinds of things. You can read books, blah, 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 whatever. The only advice that I will give, and it's hysterical, actually, is that when your kid's old enough to have sippy cups, right? Usually a sippy cup comes in a 2-pack. And what happens is you take one of the sippy cups to a restaurant and you lose it. And then you buy some more sippy cups. But the sippy cup manufacturers, there's no standardization. So these parts for this sippy cup doesn't fit this sippy cup. And then that shit goes on. So now you've got like 15 different varieties of sippy cups. And when you go to take all that shit out of the washing machine, it's like a 2-hour ordeal to figure out which valve and straw fits which frickin' cup.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was like... I almost refused to empty the washing machine because of all the stupid sippy cups. So finally one day I was like, all this shit's going in the trash. We're going to go buy 15 of the exact same variety of sippy cups, and all the parts will be compatible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it conveys a lot of frustration.
Yeah, that's your advice to new parents are just to buy the same brand.
When you buy sippy cups, buy like 15 of them. Yeah.
I thought you were going to put an army spin and be like, so we just bought a canteen. We just bought a fucking canteen. And that's where you're drinking your apple juice now, goddammit.
Deal with it, kid.
Yeah. Toughen up. Here, put in this can of Copenhagen. My buddy, he was in the Naval Academy and then went Marines. And in the Naval Academy, they do like Hell Week and shit. You know, like in college, they haze you. You know, you go through pledging and whatever. The Army and Navy hazing is like fucking 100 times over like any other fucking gay little frat hazing, paddles and chug vodka. Nah. they deprive you of shit.
Oh yeah.
To a point where my buddy was living off of like getting by having an older guy in the Naval Academy, little ranks up above him, go and during Hell Week, almost like a prison system, he would drop off a Ziploc baggie full of it was just one like nude magazine, like one porno mag, and a pouch, you know, like a canister of Copenhagen, and that's what got him by Hell Week. And he would go take a shit or go to the bathroom, take a piss, and he would lift the top of the toilet and just drop it in there for him. And he got by for like the whole Hell Week with one pouch, the same pouch of dip, and the same tears of the fucking porno mag for that whole week. And that's like what got him by. And I'm like, this, you know, my buddy, he's nuts. You know, he sleeps with a gun by his bed. But like that's like, I couldn't imagine, like that's one of the lighter stories. Otherwise we'd have to go on the Patreon. But it's, they don't bully you when you're in the Army coming in, right? Like new blood and all that shit.
They actually, they kind of stopped that. I joined in 95. And
What is that?
1995.
Oh, in 95.
In 95.
Okay.
Yeah. I joined in 95. And at that time period, they were phasing out what they call wall-to-wall counseling.
Okay.
So, you know, Private Snuffy's not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Hey, Private, go out to the shed and get me a shovel. And he'd walk his ass out there and open the shed door, and 3 NCOs would grab his ass, drag him in, close the door. He'd show up the next day a little lumped up, but he'd toe the line. He'd get in shape. And that's the way, kind of the way the Army worked.
Wow.
For a while, and it was kind of being phased out about the time period that I got there. Saw it a couple times. I wasn't me, but
yeah,
it happens.
They never pulled a fast one on you.
No, I was pretty good troop.
No shovel requests coming your way.
No, but I mean, you think about it though. Like if you're out doing this job and you fuck up, people die. It's worth. And anyway, now they have stress cards, and I'm feeling a little too stressed out. How are you going to make a killer an instrument of death that ceases to function when he's a little stressed out?
Yeah, how are you going to make a killer when he has an anxiety attack?
Yeah, you're having anxiety about the enemy? Fuck off. Get out of the Army. We can't use you. You're
useless. No, yeah, I can see your eyes going.
So, like, I think there is a certain amount of mental toughness required of let's say, a military personnel, military guy or girl. And it's difficult to see that mental toughness in current society. Like, we've just become a fat, dumb, and happy society, and things have been far too good for far too long. Again, my opinion. I'm happy with our country. I love the freedoms that we have, the things we do, but people are getting complacent.
Okay, and you know what? I couldn't agree more. I think we've always been heading towards the fat, dumb, and happy. Like even watching shows and cinema, and how we want to like show the average man or the average consumer of a human how it's always been snowballing. You know, like I'll watch Seinfeld, and it always starts with them in a diner, and George lives with his parents and he can't get a girlfriend, but then, you know, he goes and gets a pizza with his buddy, and you know, and it's a great show. But I'm saying, like, all these little like blueprints and shows that I like,
cultural cues
to driving us downhill towards a demise. And I really do think this on a positive spin when I think of like all the benefits we have, how great America is. When you just came back to saying when you went to Korea, how fortunate we are.
Yeah.
I would say you're the 3% man of like weeding out, or anybody with that same mindset of like, oh shit, look how good we have it here, and look at all the benefits. Those are the people that are gonna excel in the like this world of temptation, because everyone's gonna be getting influenced by, like I just saw I was at the grocery store and I saw now they're making candy sugar-free. They have sugar-free, and I swear to God, go in there, sugar-free Hershey's bars, sugar-free Kit Kat, but it's all that stevia shit. It's like if you don't have a brain layer protected to be like, I'm not falling for this crap, you're gonna be great in life and the world will make sense. Mm-hmm. And that's, so I'm saying like, yeah, I mean, it could be headed downhill, but like not everyone's going down with the ship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've heard it said before that you will never have more happiness than you have discipline in your life. So people get depressed, their situation is out of control, they eat more, it's a spark. Stop. You have to have some discipline. You have the reason why you're happy you won the football game is because you put all the fucking work in to get there, to make your team great. You worked as a team. The reason why you're happy with, say, your physique, because all the time in the gym, you made it happen. There has to be discipline. It just can't happen. You can't take a pill and fix everything and it make you happy. It just wouldn't.
Did someone tell you this, or you kind of learned this along the way?
I heard it years ago.
Yeah.
But now I believe it. I believe that you can't have anything without dedication and hard work.
Absolutely.
Anything that's worth having,
Yeah.
Like let's just say you win the lottery and all this money and you just buy shit, you have stuff. That thing means nothing to you. It doesn't have any value in your life because it just came without effort. It arrived without effort. But if you had to work your ass off, like let's just say it's buying a Corvette or some item of
something
value,
that you worked for.
Yeah, you had to work your ass off for several years to save up the money to go buy that thing. That has a lot of value to you because of all the work you put into it, all the discipline, all the mornings you had to wake up to go to work, and all the bullshit you went through to get that thing. If you won the lottery and you went and bought that thing, you'd be like, crash it, take it. I don't give a shit because I'll just buy another one. It doesn't have the same value because there was no work associated with getting it.
Yeah, that's so goddamn true, and it turns people spoiled, and then miserable. I mean, along the way, there was this book that I was trying to find, but the whole rhetoric, the whole backstory of the book is this kid. He lives with his father, and his mother, king and queen of this entire realm, Renaissance, or whatever you want to say, and he's a prince, he's had everything handed to him, and he saw how the village people, or like the outsiders outside of the castle, were treated and stuff like that. And, going to and from, traveling and sitting in chariots and like watching them like starve to death and shit. And he's like, I have it so great. And the whole point of the book is like, he's like, I guess like removes himself from the family and tries to live amongst the normal or the outsiders or whatever. And I think eventually he dies or something like that. And even though like a lot of people, when he came back down, they're like, oh, what are you, too good to fucking live in your own castle? Now you got to come down to our level. So they all get pissed and they like don't want him either. So he's kind of in this like rock and a hard place situation where, does this make sense? Where he's like, fuck, he's like, I have everything. I want to learn from the foundational. But now, I mean, I'm hated by both now. I got to start somewhere. And I think, he just like, he dies trying to be, I guess, normal, or tries to, but it's true. It's like some people who just like look at something like if I worked a lot to get this, like this was a hand-me-down table, like I clearly have not waxed this thing. It's squeaking like a turkey call. Like I just, this nook, actually, it's funny. This whole setup is my great grandmother's dining room
table.
Set. Yeah. You're sitting in history, but it's like the value of something is way more powerful. Saving up to buy a truck or buying that first home. And, even like appreciate getting pissed because there's already problems with the home you just bought. And you're like, fuck it. I made it this far. I have a lot. I love this thing, but I totally see what you're saying.
Yeah, I would say through my experience in the past, like let's say we're on the mat and we just, hey, how's life for you? I'm blessed. Mm-hmm. I appreciate where I am. I don't want for food. I have a beautiful car to drive. I live in a great house. My kids are happy, healthy, no health issues. Like, what the fuck else could I want?
Yeah,
totally blessed. Almost like it's been too good for too long. It's like kind of in the back of my head, I'm thinking something's bound to go wrong. Something's bound.
Always.
This is too good to,
Always. And you're like, I'm waiting for the storm.
Yeah. And you look around like, is this it? No, damn. No.
Yeah.
Oh, we missed it. But yeah, my life has been, recently it's been epic. I have a lot of great toys, guns and whatever. My my boys like being around me. We go do some fun stuff together.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Are you at that stage where you can like train them for home invasions and shit?
We already do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what the Nerf guns were about. Weren't you listening?
Well, no, I mean, I thought you were just fucking around, but no. So you're guiding them through a structure.
Oh yeah.
Like checking the door. Walk me through that,
Oh,
please.
Yeah. You know, yeah, like when you come through a doorway, the first guy goes left, second guy goes right, stay out of the funnel of death.
Okay.
Yeah, I taught them all that kind of shit.
Well, see, no, because when you say Nerf guns to me, I'm just thinking like, all right, you're just a dad bonding with his kid, shooting each other in the living room.
Well, yeah, that too.
You're sitting there going, you got a little mirror, coast is clear.
No, like we play Nerf guns. If you come over to the house, play Nerf guns with me and my kids, you'd be like, your kids are fucking ninjas. They're assassins. But this is unnatural. Oh, it's intentional. It raises the level and the expectation of the game. You know, you come running out like you know you're going to die like a suicide bomber.
Yeah,
you just get shot up. It's no fun. There's got to be some like tactics. There's got to be some squad interaction. It makes it a ton of fun.
I have to experience this firsthand. We'll get some GoPros going. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. The meta glasses. I showed you those.
Yeah, that's cool.
I showed you those. Have you looked into getting them yet for shooting and shit?
Million things I'd love to get. I have a list of like far too many things that I would like to have.
We didn't talk about this, but you got any hunting trips coming up?
Yeah, actually, I just November just killed my first elk.
Yep.
It was 6 years in the making and 4 trips to Colorado.
That was the prep for that moment.
That's how long it took. Yeah. So you go buy a tag, like you just show up. Here's my $800.
Yeah.
They'll sell an unlimited number of tags. It's called an over the counter, and they expect that the tag fill rate is less than 20%. Mm-hmm. So 1 in 5 people fills a tag.
Wow.
Actually harvest. So that was right. That was us. Took 4 trips. That's the 20%. And it's, you know, you go out there, it's tough. You know, you're hiking the mountains, particularly when you come from Florida. Mm-hmm. We're zero elevation, and you go up to 10,000 feet, and you're walking 10 miles with 65 pounds on your back.
I mean, you got to train for this shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. For like this last trip, for like 2 months ahead of time, I had a spare tire on a rope that I was dragging around the neighborhood, and people look at me like, "You're a fucking idiot. What's wrong with you?"
Yeah. Who's this David Goggins?
Yeah. And I looked like a retard, and I'm okay with it. I just this is what is necessary. And I still went there and felt like I was ill prepared. Like the first 3 days, you're out of breath just getting out of the car, just because of the altitude.
Wow.
And then now you're setting up your tent, and you're like, just setting up a tent.
Oh my gosh.
And then it gets better over a couple days. You get acclimatized a little bit. Blood gets a little thicker. You start to feel it, and then now you got to get out and patrol and hunt and get out in the woods and whatever.
Yeah.
So the last trip we were out for a week and a half. It was a 2-week trip. We're out for just about a week and a half. We had just a couple days left to hunt, and my 17-year-old and I, my son and I, we were admittedly both kind of like, man, this isn't going to happen this year. We're both kind of like getting mentally defeated. Like it was coming to an end. We hadn't seen anything, and so we picked a big field to sit out in. And we're actually kind of shooting the shit, kind of loud, not being quiet, and just right at sundown, like look over in the woodline. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's weird. What the hell? So he takes the binoculars. He's like, oh, it's an elk, and the binoculars aren't strong enough to see the antlers, and so he's like, yeah, it's probably another cow. Fuck. All right, whatever. So I got the rifle and I set up the bipod, and I'm like, all right, well, let me just at least set up for a shot. You know? Yeah. So I get, and it's 25 power magnification on the scope. So I get the shot set up, and like, holy shit, there's antlers. And like, you know, instantly you start shaking, and all this emotion comes through you. And so fortunately, my son's like, he's like, Dad, just calm down. Elk's not going anywhere. Take some breaths, relax. Great coach. That was a huge discipline from him, just to coach me through this.
For sure.
Activity. You know, you're like, rifle's shaking everywhere. You're like, your heart's beating. You know, you get like this adrenaline dump. And if you've ever gone hunting, you understand that. As soon as a deer hops out, like
we call it buck fever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whatever. And it took me about a minute to produce a shot, and it was a 400-yard shot, which was pretty good distance.
Yeah.
And
you get him right in behind the shoulder.
Yeah, I hit him twice. I took 3 shots, 2 of them hit him, and I have a video, and you see him fall over.
You showed me the video. Yeah.
It's kind of a stupid video, but if you appreciate the situation,
not at
you're
all.
just like, what a win. Holy smokes.
Yeah, what are you talking about? That's not a stupid video at all.
So
in the rocks, all that.
Yeah, so we shot the elk right at sundown, and then we walked down there, and now our whole thing has changed. We're thinking from going home defeated, and now you got to go back and tell your friends, no, I didn't kill. I went all the way out there, didn't kill anything. Like I've done 4 times before, and you're thinking about it. It kind of sucks to have to. Yeah, I'm a hunter, but I've never fucking killed anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you come back as a winner. That's part of it. To me, that's the. How'd your trip go? Oh, dude, we finally killed an elk.
Well, you were telling me though. I mean, the crazy story about it was, yeah, you're excited, and yeah, you killed an elk, and yeah, everything's great, and then the prep to not leave anything behind, and dragging that fucking thing. just I need to air this story out. It took you what time to finish hunting, cleaning, and killing this thing, or you know what I mean, hunting, killing, and then tying this thing up, cutting it up.
Yeah. So we the shot was about 6:30. Sun is just going down, and we walk down to the elk. He's laying there. You take the pictures with the gun and all the smiles and stuff.
You get all the glory stuff out of the way.
That's about 20 minutes. Yeah, you got to take those pictures.
Yes,
that's
you do.
required. And then it literally took us 3 hours to quarter the thing out, to get all the straps, the quarters, the shoulders, get it all disassembled. Mm-hmm. And we had 265 pounds worth of meat, fur, head, antler, to carry out. No, actually, I'm sorry. We ended up with 250 pounds of meat. So it was more than that. It's probably like 300 pounds of stuff to carry.
Including the antlers and the...
Yeah. The head, the hide, the 2 quarters, the back straps, the loins, all of it. And regrettably or honestly, we left some meat on the carcass. We just simply couldn't carry it. If we had, let's say we had 4 of us, I would have been carving the brisket off. I would have taken every last drop of meat, take it home. We had capacity to carry it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we finished the prep till at about 9:30 p.m. And now it's dark. Mm-hmm. We are out in bear country, both of us smelling like blood and elk. And it's a bit skittish being out there.
Just baiting wildlife to come for you.
And I'm like totally focused. I got the knife, and I'm doing the thing, cutting the skinning it. And my son is like, he's standing up. He's got the flashlight on his head, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, hold on a second. I think I heard something." So he takes the flashlight and he's like looking around. He was admittedly a little bit skittish, and rightfully so. I mean, like a bear comes out of the woods, we're fucked.
You're also walking in nothing. It's so dark. I'm not sure the setting's right, but like the moonlight isn't really guiding you as a lamp.
No, there was some moon, but not really enough.
So I'm saying you're walking in the dark in the abyss.
Yeah. Covered in blood. Yeah. Smelling like elk. Yeah.
And all eyes are on you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little creepy. Because like where we are now, you're not more than 3 minutes from an ambulance showing up at the door.
Yeah, there's that panic factor.
You're out in the woods, a bear comes and mauls one of you, you're fucked. There's no cell phone. There's no nothing. It's totally survival at that point. And my son and I on the 2,000-mile trip there, the drive, we had talked about all these things, all these scenarios. What happens if? What happens if I break a leg? What happens if I fall down? A bear comes out, chews me up. How do you get back to the car? How do you? There's kind of things you need to be prepared for.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it didn't happen. I bought a 10 millimeter pistol. That was the primary bear defense item.
Sure.
Anyway, so at 9:30, you're kind of you're kind of emotionally frazzled. You've been out in the thing, and you're just absolutely exhausted. Cutting up an elk is hard work. I'm breathing like I'm running a marathon.
Yeah, if you're out of breath setting up your tent, I can only imagine cutting this thing up.
So 9:30, we get the thing it's in bags, it's all ready to go, and we head out. Unfortunately, my phone and everything that I had navigationally had died. Yeah, we were out of water, we were out of food, even before I took the shot. Like we weren't expecting to be out there all night. We were thinking, all right, we're gonna wrap this up, head back to the car, we'll be done with this. We end up killing the elk. We're kind of on a bad thing. So we start walking. It's basically pick up your backpack, walk 100 yards, set it down. Come back, pick up 100 pounds of meat, walk 100 yards, set it down. and we're doing this 5-way relay, the both of us.
What the fuck?
For 4 miles to get home, and the car was up at the truck was up at like 10,000 feet, and we had to walk down into this valley. So the whole way back, we're going up this switchback mountain, and so we literally didn't get to the car with all of the bullshit till 9:30 the next morning. So it was 12 hours of madness. Like, we're out in the middle of the woods, smelling like elk, bloody. You're emotionally frazzled because you're on edge, like ready to get attacked, jumped by a bear.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're absolutely exhausted, just carrying. Like at one point, my son he just like throws everything down into like a fit, like a 5-year-old tantrum, like, we're fucked. Is it gonna, I'm like, dude, just relax. We'll make it through. And like 10 minutes later, I'm doing the same shit. It's just total fucking madness. And I think at like 6:30 or so, I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just leave this meat here. We're going to put it in a pile. We're going to take our backpacks, get back to the car, get some food, get some water, refurbish a little bit. We'll drop off our backpacks, all the rifles, all the extra bullshit we're carrying.
And if the meat's still there.
And if the meat's still there, if some bear hasn't walked off with it, we'll go pick up what's left. So we walk, I think it was like 2 miles from the car. We left it, walked back out. Now the sun's coming up. Sun coming up is quite an emotional boost. Like, you're in the dark, it's shitty, you can't see, but like now you can start to see, like, spirits are rising.
The finish line is so close.
Yeah.
When you see that sun come up. Yeah.
And then when we had walked back from the car, we knew exactly how far it was. Like, we knew how close we're getting.
Wow.
Whereas in the night, I really didn't know. We're just walk, just go. I don't know if you follow CrossFit games, like at the pro level, they don't tell you how many reps you got to do.
Okay.
They just start doing pull-ups. We'll tell you when you're done. And that's part of the mind fuck of the whole thing. It's like,
okay,
you just keep performing. And finally the judge is, all right, you're done. Move on to the next event. And you start doing burpees till you have no idea. You can't like mentally count in your head to keep track.
What's the psyche behind not telling you and just maxing it out just to
it just makes
test
it more
your
difficult.
endurance and
So if you know you got, say, 20 reps to do, you can count your way through it. You can mentally say, all right, the finish line is there. I can work towards it. But if you're just doing push-ups
with the number in your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
It mentally makes it easier.
Okay.
Because you can count down. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. So, like I'm saying, we don't know how far we're going to carry this stuff.
Yeah.
And it really was screwing with us.
My buddy, he's an MMA fighter, and he when he goes for walks or he'll go on a jog on the treadmill, he'll put a towel over it because it shows the time. And all you're focused is on that fucking time.
Yeah.
If you're at work and work sucks, you're going to stare at the clock. But so now, once you got there, I mean, the sun came up, everything's good. You drove back finally to go get the meat.
No, we had to walk back. We went to the car just to get food and water, and take a little bit of a break.
It wasn't drivable.
Nope.
Oh, that's right. You're setting the shit you just said about shooting the elk. Yeah, you can't. There's not a goddamn Can-Am could get through there.
No. It's actually, the trail is walking or horseback only. There's no mechanized, no bicycles, no nothing, no wheels, not allowed. So it's all just shoe leather express.
God damn.
Yeah.
And then you had to walk all the way back to get the meat.
Yeah. So at the conclusion of that, we get back to the car and we are both just mentally, physically, spiritually exhausted. We still have 2 days left to hunt. We still have a valid tag to fill. And we're both like, there is no way I could do that again. Even if we got lucky enough to go find the right spot to kill an elk, I just don't have it in me. It's just not going to happen. So we left with an unfilled tag. So I got an over-the-counter tag, and I got him one as well. And walking around the woods, we had one rifle, and it was like, you want to carry it for a while? Great, you carry the rifle. If you see something, it's your shot. Mm-hmm. If I'm carrying the rifle and I see something, it's my shot.
Fair.
So it was. He thought that was cool. He had an opportunity. He had a potential.
Yeah.
But we had the tag left to fill, and we're just like, there's no way we could possibly do this again. It just wouldn't work. We couldn't do it. Dude. So we headed out early. But so if you look back in your life and you say, what's the most difficult thing I've ever lived through? Whatever it is. it resets your maximum level of uncomfort, of whatever, of discomfort, of tolerance, of, and then everything plays into a different scale. Like if the worst thing you've ever experienced is your food wasn't warm enough, everything seems like a fucking catastrophe.
Yeah.
You know,
If you're holding it to that extreme.
Yeah. You mentioned Blackhawk Down earlier. Let's say you were a troop and you lived through that scenario. Everything else on the planet could be easy. It's a relative scale.
Yeah.
So I think the service that I paid to my son was that I set a new benchmark for what miserable is, or we set a new benchmark in that experience. And he even acknowledged that. He's like, I've never done anything so difficult in my life. Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool for him. It's
a big milestone.
It's definitely going to be a thing that he will recall in his life.
Fuck yeah.
That, epic for him. So as a dad, totally worth it. What we paid, what we went through, whatever, it all worth it to give him that experience.
I mean, dude, he can't really hold the candle to a lot of, like, I can only see him getting his heart broken by a girl. He's like, fuck this. I travel with my dad and shot a goddamn elk. You think this stops me right here, bitch?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. For a 16-year-old kid, 16, right?
17. Yeah.
17
Yeah.
to do that with his father. Yeah, the world is going to make a lot more sense.
So they came along with me on the previous 4 hunts. So we're out walking 10 miles with bullshit.
For the elk, because
elk hunting, yeah.
Because, okay, so they walked with you on the previous 4 hunts. All of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Both your sons? And that was when you couldn't get, it was like you couldn't pull the tag or?
No, I had a tag. I just didn't fill it.
Didn't fill it.
Yeah, same thing. So we actually had one previous trip, and it's another benchmark, bookend moment. We get out on the trail, camping, we get started on the trail. All right, we want to go out that way to go find some elk. And there's this nice mountain with a little hip on it, a little aspen grove up there. I'm like, that looks like a good place to go find some elk. Let's go up there. And it literally took us 8 hours climbing up through bush and hacking our way. We finally get up there, right? And when you hike, going up is way harder than you coming down. So we could return probably within a couple hours if we chose to. So at that point, I looked at both of them. I mean, it's getting to be like half hour before sundown. You can hear the elk are starting to call, and like you're in the thick of it. You can hear. I don't know if you ever heard an elk call. It sounds like a T-Rex screaming.
Not in person. I've heard.
Oh, it's crazy, and you can hear them all over the mountains. They're all calling to
bugling.
each other. Yeah. So it was an archery hunt. So I had my bow. I had my sidearm.
Yeah.
And I look at each of them. I was like, all right, right now we have a choice. We can either hightail back to camp and call it, or we can stay right here. What do you have in your pack right now? And the kid's like, I got some rain gear, I got some gloves, I got some whatever. Really didn't have enough. And I was like, all right, let's make a little shelter. It was kind of windy, so we made up like a little lean-to, dug out the ground, literally slept on our backpacks, just leaning up against our backpacks through the night. And you could hear the elk calling. I didn't sleep a single bit. There's mountain lions out there. There's bears out there.
Okay, I was going to say excitement from the elk, but now paranoia from everything you just mentioned. Okay.
So I literally slept with my pistol in my lap, ready to go. Like, what's that?
God.
I slept maybe 10 minutes the whole night.
And your kids, so you're living in fear on protecting them.
Yeah, and they're snoring away. I'm like, dude, stop! You're gonna drag. You're attracting the bear. Stop the snoring.
They're doing their own bear call in their REM sleep.
Yeah, but yeah, it was for them. It was a super memorable, epic night. We remember that time we stayed out. We had just camping. Like, what kid dreams of that? Yeah, you play out in the woods. Oh, wouldn't it be cool just to
not a kid,
build a little shed?
Yeah, not a kid in this modern world.
No. As a kid, I was always out in the woods playing around, falling out of trees, and doing dumb shit like that.
So even that time, like when you made all the camping and all that stuff with your kids, that was a scenario, an epic journey, but still no elk. That was just a camp to find it and all that. How did they feel after that? Is there a slight disappointment knowing there was no hope for they're like, almost like there's like an entitlement, right? Like, hey, I'm putting this out in the universe. Therefore, because of these set accomplishments. Exactly.
Yeah, no, so I think I said the line before, life is full of disappointment, get a helmet.
Yes.
I tell my kids all the time.
Yeah, you have.
It doesn't always go your way. It's just shit is what it is. Life's rough, get a helmet. Deal with disappointment, And I think that's a lesson that a lot of young kids these days, they, like you're saying, oh, I did it. It's owed to me.
Yeah.
A sense of entitlement that people live with. And no, nothing's owed to you. Nothing's owed to you, dude. You know, you got to earn it. You got to get up and go earn it.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. So yeah, my second son, you know, we live in Wellington. There's a lot of money over in Wellington. His close friend gets a Talaria. It's this like a small motocross electric bike.
Okay.
You know, it's electric. You see him actually zipping around town all the time. They'll do like 45 miles an hour. Pretty cool. And his buddy asks his parents, can I have a Talaria? And just like a couple days later,
Without hesitation,
it just shows up in the garage. Hey, look what we got. You know, like no birthday, no Christmas, no nothing. It's just like, yeah, here you go, kid.
Yeah.
And so my kid looks at me. He's like, Dad, I want a Talaria. So what? You know, go earn one. You know, so I told him, I was like, all right, well, pressure washer's in the garage. Go walk around the neighborhood, pressure wash some driveways, make some money. No effort. You know, go get a job. No effort. He was feeling that it was just owed to him. And my position is like, you know, and kind of in the back of my head, I'm thinking, all right, if you show some effort and you, let's just say the thing, I think they're like $3,500
mm-hmm.
and you make it to $1,500. Yeah.
I'll meet you halfway.
I'll help you out. You at least put some effort, you showed some interest, and therefore, like we talked about earlier, that thing would have value to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you would appreciate it for what it is. But no effort, no Talaria, you know? And I kind of saw that with his friend, the same thing we're talking about. He didn't really show respect for that thing that was just fell in his lap, you know? And so as, you know, as a parent, I want him to not grow up as just a spoiled little SOB, you know? So yeah, I saw that look in his eye when he's like, oh, my friends are all driving these electric bikes. And you know, I got to pedal my ass off just to keep up with them. But at the same time, guy, you're not going to grow up as a spoiled brat, not at my expense.
The funny thing about that is too, looking back, you're going to get your kids to thank you so much as it goes by, because like in this moment you want something at the snap of a finger, but also the factor is like no pressure washing, no scheme or idea on how to make that money to get that thing was there. The needs and wants kind of found itself in the right bin.
Yeah.
You know, like I want it, but I don't want to go and pressure wash. Okay, so you don't want it that bad.
I mean, apparently you don't want it bad enough.
It's not your water in the desert. Yeah. You know, like you really, really like the idea of needing it. You know, as I like to say, like if you're like, oh fuck, that guy has one, I want some, and that humbles your kid. That's cool. I don't have kids, so I can't really like say or speak on it, but like just by observing and understanding and then tapping into my childhood, like same way. I mean, I'm sure every generation's had a tougher and tougher. We're just making it easier to pave a way, and we see sometimes that's not the best, like giving people just handouts.
Yeah,
it's never benefited anybody from excelling in like a more disciplined future.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's I think we talked about men and women's roles.
Yeah.
So raising kids, there is sort of a conflict in those roles. Mom wants to be the nurturer and the cuddler and the enabler. And from my opinion, dad's objective is to push him out of his comfort zone to make him a man, prepare him for the world, to go learn all these things. And so when I'm being the dad that I feel I should be, it conflicts with what mom wants for the kid. Mom wants to coddle him and it's sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult to know what's the right thing. What am I really doing this right? Is this really how this is supposed to go? And I remember when my older boys were younger, we would go to church often, and like after mass, some like old grandpa out of the blue, dude I've never met before, would come over and be like, "Hey Dad, you're doing a good job." And I'm like, because I feel like I'm lost. I feel like, is this right? I'm uncertain about what this, but it just be like, I can see your kids have a good father. They have good discipline. They have a good structure in their life. I can see you're doing it right. So whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it.
Nice.
And I'd be like, all right, at least it's
that's cool.
tough to, but for a random guy just to come up to you and be like, keep doing it. Keep fighting the fight. Get in there, kid, fight the fight.
Yeah.
And, not like say at jiu-jitsu. I know this is kind of an offshoot, but I've helped a lot of people. I believe I've helped a lot of people with that same type of advice, because you get on the mat and, as a white belt, you're just getting your ass beat left and right, and it hurts, and it's hard on your ego, it's hard on your pride, it's just physically hurts. You feel like, fuck, can I take this? But then you get the right person to come and say, hey, I can see you're learning. I can see you're improving.
Yes.
Stick with it. Keep doing it. You will become the master someday. And for people to have that encouragement, I think, is important.
That's real validation.
Yeah.
That's that's none of that fake bullshit. That is true grit. That's someone looking at it from the outside lens, being like, hey man, I know you don't think people are noticing or I'm not watching, but it's like, motherfucker, I see you're on the right path. You're doing something right. Keep it going. That's a breath of fresh air in if things get a little foggy for you. That's, of course.
We all lose our way.
Of course.
No matter what path you're on, you lose your way. Man, woman, you wonder, is this right for me? Am I doing the right thing? And then you have somebody randomly come into your life and you figure out your place.
Yeah.
So actually, when I first started training jiu-jitsu, I was going through a divorce, and my coach at the time was he was a good speaker, and he would just speak from the heart. Like, so at the end of class, he would have some advice, like usually about on the mat stuff, but for some reason it just spoke to me about my life. Like, I gained so much inspiration and wisdom, and I'd always go to him and be like, what you said just really spoke to me.
What was the thing that sits with you?
Random stuff, just like we're talking about. You get to question your existence. You get to question your life. Am I headed in the right direction? Am I doing the right thing? Is this for me? Whatever. And if you've ever been through a divorce, you're questioning a lot of stuff in your life. You're like, what about for my kids? Did I make the right choice? Where am I going to get? There's a lot of doubt, which is part of the shitty part of a divorce. But for some reason, just it was perfect timing. So I look at jiu-jitsu has helped me in countless ways. Just connecting with the right people, making good friendships, advice for on the mat seems like just simple advice, but hey, you carry that through the rest of your life.
Deeper
discipline,
meaning.
Everything has good value to it if you're willing to take it.
Yeah. Shark said that to me when we were training and rolling. I'm only looking at the cameras because I think one of them's going to run out. But Shark said, because he was watching a lot of white belt energy. Is it that time?
No, all good.
He said there's a lot of white belt energy out there and whatever. And he's like, you guys think, he's like, I'm watching you guys. We're going through the same drills and shit. And he's like, you think you just came up with a move on the fly and then that's why you get pinned down or choked out? He's like, you think you just invented that move? He's like, the wheel's been invented.
Yeah.
Everyone just has their own way of rolling with it.
Yeah.
And because everyone thinks they're reinventing the wheel. It's already been out. The wheel has been established. Caveman has chiseled it. You cannot tell me that you just found a new move in there, like you're Thomas fucking Edison. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get real. And then everyone. I remember that one day, and I just sat with me and I watched everybody, and almost like a wave, like a tidal wave of emotion. Everyone's like, "This motherfucker, he's right," and back to the drawing board. But yeah, that's like, dude, I completely see your angle.
Yeah, I'd say right now most of my good friends or decent acquaintances come from jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
and I believe that that just the mats weed out certain people. So if you can, from my opinion, if you can make it in jiu-jitsu, you've already met a baseline of acceptability. Like, you've already been pre-screened. So that's a good group of people to pick friends from, because they have the determination, the grit, the fortitude, the whatever you call it, to continue.
Yeah.
And maybe if you look at people in jiu-jitsu, a lot of times the white belts, you don't even know their names, because you're like, you'll probably not be here tomorrow.
They come and go.
But once you make it to blue belt, you're like, all right, I can see you've shown enough stick-to-itiveness to stay here and learn, and you understand the value in getting your ass whooped all the time and the learning process that goes into it.
You could see a white belt, though, that might stick around when they're like humbled, because all they're trying to do is what they just got taught. Yeah. And they're not trying to go out of the box and freestyle a choke or something that they have no business doing when they're going with like a brown belt or a sensei black belt or a coral belt. I think I said it wrong. What's it? The coral?
Coral, I think, is if you've been in jiu-jitsu like 5,000 years or something. Well, you only get that as like a senior.
Because it's all different in different places, but like it's the black belt with all of the taping on it or whatever, the coral belt. I don't know.
I think you get a new stripe every 5 years as a black belt.
So I'm saying like one of those guys and a white belt, and the poor kid's just trying to break guard and try and pass, and that's all. And then he's like accepting the choke. You're like, this guy, he might be great one day because of the submission.
Yeah.
My buddies, I have friends that go like, I'm not going to fuck it. I have comic friends that are like, they'll talk about how gay jiu-jitsu is and how, and they try to, obviously they'll be like a bunch of men meeting up in pajamas, just hugging around for an hour. Really, real tough, bro. And stuff like, but then I talk to him.
Why don't you show up one day?
Right. So then I
talk
talk
to him.
As
you're fighting for your life.
I talk to him off stage and I go, hey man, just do it. I talk to my sensei. It's just $30 for an all-day pass. Like we'll sit there and we'll just do like 2 classes. There's a beginner and then a regular where black belts to white belts come through. Do that. And he goes, nah, man, I'm not doing that. I go, why? He goes, this is my buddy. He goes, I hate the fact that someone can strangle me and I can't have control. And I go, that says a lot about your life. Yeah. Because you can't really control that regardless. Like you can't control a car accident. When you spin out on the highway and it's raining, you can add to your capabilities. That says a lot about you if you can't be like, I would freak out if someone tried to choke me out or chokes me out and I pass out. I'm like, dude, that's a lot of fear in you. I hear it.
Yeah. I work with a guy who's approached me. I wear rash guards all the time, so it's stupidly obvious that I like jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And he's approached me a couple times. He's like, and it kind of starts like, I don't think that jiu-jitsu shit works.
What?
And I don't get all combative about it. I'm like, you're welcome to think whatever you like to think.
Yeah,
good for you. He's like, I grew up with 3 brothers and we would horse around all the time. I don't think it would work. Fair enough. I'm happy you have a good thought. Mm-hmm. Why don't you come to training for a week? Just show up. We'll get you in a gi, we'll put a belt on you, and I guarantee you will be a believer after that. I guarantee.
Did he?
No, never did. Yeah. Never did.
It's those people that like it's all talk. But Steve, we're gonna have to cut. We're gonna have to, for the sake of you going over
timeliness.
Yeah, you looked at your clock and you got a little excited there. So I checked.
No, it's all good. No, I've enjoyed this time just being here. It's cool. It's been a lot of fun.
Do you got anything you want to say? You want to plug anything or like say something to the people watching?
Years ago, I heard that there are people who read books, there are people who write books, and there are people who books are written about. So which person do you want to be? Do you want to be just another gray face in the crowd, or do you want to be a history maker? So I'm not going to say that I'm a history maker, but I've tried to be as helpful and outgoing and useful as I could be.
Yeah,
I've had a fair amount of hobbies. I've done everything from racing motorcycles to water sports and skiing, and I get into some stuff. People I work with, all the dumb stories I tell them, they're like, you're like a fucking action figure or something. Like you're like my hero. Like, I wish I had time and energy to go do the shit you do. But, I don't know. It's just, there are, people have certain talents. Like I always say, names are not my talent, but I do have other talents. I do have other things that fit me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Steve Craemer, thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. It's been really real. Do you to close out, other than that beautiful quote, would you want to give something to the viewer at home, something that they can take into their life, something quick, something that's always impacted you, Army, father, hunter, black belt, something that you've always stuck with?
Yeah. Let's see. I would want everybody to have happiness, to be happy and have happiness in their life. And I think the key to that happiness is just being comfortable and confident in the place that you are in your life, accepting your role, accepting your position, accepting what circumstances surround you right now. And, you know, when you're finally content in your heart with where you are, it brings true happiness. So I wish that for everyone.
Right on. Steve Craemer, thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Guys, thanks for tuning into another episode of the Casey Grace podcast. You can like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to follow Steve or, reach out to him, can they find you on Instagram or?
Yeah, probably.
You don't want to give it out?
No, I'll keep that private.
Good. That's exactly what we want to do. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.